Okay, today we're going to do numeral expressions. And numeral expressions is a mathematical phrase that has numbers and operation signs but does not have an equal sign. So let's go on, and just so what does that look like? Well, it's like 4 plus 6. That's a numeral expression. I have numerals, I have an expression, but there's no equal sign. It doesn't mean I'm supposed to solve it. It's just how the numbers I would use and the order of operation I would use to solve a problem. So let's move on, and I have a question here, or a story problem. So we want to use our numeral expression to figure out what we should be doing in the story problem. So Tyler caught 15 small bass. His dad caught 12 small bass in the Memorial Bass Tournament in Tiburon, Pennsylvania. Write a numeral expression to represent how many fish they caught in all. So I just look at my information and I see he had 15 small bass and his dad had 12 small bass. So I write down 15 and 12, and I ask myself, what is the question asking me to do? And it says how many fish are caught in all, so that tells me I have to plus. So my numeral expression is 15 plus 12. Another example is Emma has 11 fish in her aquarium. She buys 4 more, so I write down 11 and 4. And if she's buying 4 more, how many does she have altogether? Well, if I have 11 and I add 4 more to it, I know I'm going to use addition. Lucia has 128 stamps. She uses 38 stamps on her party invitation. Well, I know she has 128. She uses 38 of them. If I use them or I take them away, that's a minus. Carla buys 5 books. So how many books does she have? She has 5. Each book costs $3. I know I have equal groups. I'm paying the same amount for each book, so I know that's a multiplication. 4 players share 52 cards equally. I have 52 cards. If each player gets them equal and I'm dividing them into 4 players, I know I'm going to divide. It's looking at what the words that are in the story problem asking, or what do they represent. So Doug went fishing for 3 days. Each day he put $15 in his pocket. At the end of each day he had $5 left. How much money did Doug spend by the end of this trip? So each day he took $5 and he had $5 left, and he did this for 3 days. So I first think I've got to do 15 minus 5 so that I know how much money he spent each day. If he has $15, if he had $15 and he only has 5 left, how much did he spend? Well, I'm going to figure that out by doing 15 minus 5. But I also then have to know that he did this for 3 days, so that's an equal group. So then I've got to take it times 3. Notice I put what I want to do first in parentheses. That's called the order of operations because the parentheses tell me I have to do it first. Okay, write a problem. Which problem matches this? Okay, so let's look. We have 20 minus first $12 plus $3. So Kim has $20 to spend on her fishing trip. So far we're okay. She spends $12 on a fishing pole. Then she finds $3. How much money does she have left? Well, if I look at this, first Kim has $20. That part is correct. Next, she spends $12. I'm not doing that next. I don't have these 2 in parentheses to tell me I should subtract the 12. Then she finds $3. So if I wanted to do this, I could change it, and I could have put parentheses. If I would have done parentheses here, helps if I don't have white. then it would have been correct, but it's not. So let's look here. Kim has spent $20 on her fishing pole. Well, she has $20, that's correct. She spends $12 on a fishing pole and $3 on bait. Well, I am combining. I spent both this, so how much did I spend altogether? I spent $15. So I do that first. How much did I spend? If she had this, $20, how much did she have left at the end of the day? So this tells me she spends $12 and she spends $3. Does this expression work? Yes. All right, Terry had 18 worms. She gave 4 worms to Susie and 3 worms to Jamie. Which one of these expressions, numerical expressions, represent this story problem? Talk to your partner, circle it. Rick had $8, then he worked 4 hours for $5 each. Once again, talk to your partner. What do you think? Circle it. Write an expression to match the words. So this time it's your turn. I would like your partner to do this one and you to do this one. So pick between the two of you. Now let's write an expression. These are a little bit harder to, it takes longer, not harder. You just have to put words to this. This one's pretty easy. I think you guys can do this. Talk to each other about this one. How would you write it? Write it down, please, on your paper. Then go to this one. 6 times 12 minus 4. So that has to come first. So remember, when you put it in your story problem, have this action happen first. And then they have to multiply that by equal days or equal amounts. Write your answer down between the two of you. Now we're on our own, so I would like your partner to do 7 and 9. You do 8 and 10, and you talk about it with your partner. This 11 and 12 you can skip. I would like you to draw a line to match the expression with the words. So let's do the first one together. Fred catches 25 fish, then he releases 10 fish and catches 8 more. Well, I know right away when I start with, I've got to have one of these two. So I look. Fred catches 25 fish. That could be both of those. Then he releases 10 fish and catches 8 more. Well, this tells me he caught 10 and caught 8 more. This tells me he released 10, but then turned around and caught 8 more. Finish that up. I would like you to do 14 with you and your partner. Figure out 14. Use the table. Use the workspace to show me your work. Please just don't put an answer. If you have time and you and your partner would like to do 15 and 16 and 17, that's great. It's not an assignment. Then I would like you to do your homework, but before you do your homework, I would like you to go to your journal and add an example under your numerical expression. We have the definition. I did 6 plus 6. I did an addition. I did a subtraction. I didn't do any with the parentheses. You could easily put in 4 times 3 plus 5 and put parentheses to know that you could do that first. You do that first. That's a numerical expression. It just doesn't have an equal sign. Then, once you have that done, go back to the homework. You need pages 65. You need number 2, 3, 7, and you can do either 8 or 9. It doesn't matter to me. Page 66, do numbers 1, 3, 4, and 5.